Hey guys, welcome for another video. You are watching. In this video, we will be looking into other OWASP vulnerability called code tampering. It is ranked in the health position, right? So code tampering is commonly happens in a mobile environment, as we can easily unzip the things and we can modify the things, and we have facilities to resign the app and repack the app, and we can run it in the environment, right? So there are a lot of ways to tamper the code. You can tamper the particular class or a function using a frida by invoking frida script, for a particular function or a variable of it, right? So there are a lot of ways, and code tampering is technically all mobile code is vulnerable to code tampering. Mobile code runs within an environment that is not under the control of the organization producing the code. That's what, right? Like suppose a website, right? Website has a server, so server has that every control over the organization. But when it comes to mobile environment, the mobile environment will, like, that mobile application will be having its own sandbox environment in the mobile device to run it. So those people like doesn't has any ways to recheck what kind of code or application is it, resigned application, or whether the authority of the application is same as the original or it is manipulated. It is very difficult things to check from the organization from somewhere to your device. So it is very commonly happens. At the same time, there are plenty of different ways to altering the environment in which that code runs. These changes allow an advisory to tinker with the code and modify it all like it will, right? That's what, you can see the mod apps and all, right, which commonly people use. So how does it happen? Like, people usually break down or like depackage, unzip the package, and they will edit the small code and they will resign and the repack. See, these all are code tampering. That's what they will. Suppose there is a functionality called is premium. Alright, if is premium exceeds a one, like technically, like it will exit a one whenever the user pays some money. So what happens? These malicious people, they will just decompile the app, and they will modify the APK, that particular small code to return one directly, so that they will generate a premium version of APK. That's how the modding application is done. Like, that is basically code tampering vulnerability, right? So this is a simple thing. We can't show the more every how the code tampering is done, because YouTube will remove our video as soon as we upload it, because that violates the rules and regulations, right? So that's why, I'm giving you brief idea. If you people want to know how to mod any APK, you can drop in our comment box. So we will make a video and we will drop in our Telegram channel, right? So the common ways to prevent it, the mobile app must be able to detect at runtime that code has been added or changed from what it knows about its integrity at a compile time. That's what, right? Authority or integrity, like, it has to verify. And app must be able to react appropriately at a runtime to a code integrity violation. Suppose you can put a one function in on create I mean, like, in the main activity or splash activity, which runs and checks the integrity, in the sense the SHA of the application signed, right, every time. See, this can be removed, if at all, if that malicious hacker has an idea that there is a functionality which checks the integrity. But that's what, like, that is one of the option to check it, right? And the other common thing is root detection. Like, if at all, if an application is able to run on a root, you can make a root detection. Commonly bank applications and those kind of sensitive applications will have a root detection and VM detection also. So we have to bypass the root detection. We can use the objection tool. Okay, objection tool is very good for bypassing root detection. We can use that. And, that's what, if at all, if root detection is available, you can't tamper the code in a runtime using java, frida also. And other common preventions we can use is VM detection. Generally, not much people will do these things on their own mobile phone, right? They will use emulators like Genymotion, and they will try to do all those stupid things in Genymotion. So you can try to invoke the VM detection, and make sure like untrusted CA certificate detection will be notified to the users, right? So these are the like these are basic info and the common things of what happens in our code tampering. So there is no practicality things because it violates the YouTube laws if I show them, and they will definitely remove my video later. So these are like idea I have given, right? If you guys still got any doubts or confusion, please reach me out. So this is it for a video, guys. See you again in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.